Good evening, home groups. How y'all doing tonight? Hope you're having a fun time. My name is Ben. I'm the director of middle school ministries at Blackhawk Church. I know many of you out there, so this is a virtual hug from me to you. Oh, how sweet and caring and sentimental. If you don't know me, that was probably creepy, so we'll do the virtual handshake. Oh, it's nice to meet you. And for those of you who've done man skills, and you know, firm handshake, look in the eyes. We're good. We're good. All right. So, if you liked last week's video on different pathways on prayer, that was my wife, Megan. She is pretty great. And I really want to encourage all of you to continue to pursue your personal pathway to a vibrant connection with God. Tonight, we're going to talk about a little word that I think has something of an odd reputation for us, but it's a powerful word. And so I want to unpack it and see if we can rescue it from its place in cultural oblivion. That little word is holy. I want to talk tonight with you about what holiness is, what it means to live a holy life, to be God's holy people, and in particular, what holiness has to do with sex. So I ordered some pizza today, and it was good pizza. You know, I had one that was thin crust, and it was a supreme, and I kind of like veggies on my pizza. And then the other one was hand-tossed style with pepperoni. And so it was kind of nice to have this variety of, a little pepperoni, a little bit of a supreme. And yeah, it was delicious. And you're probably not listening to anything that I'm saying, are you? Yeah. See, that's the thing. I just said the word sex. And so it doesn't even matter that I'm talking about pizza, which is also something that's an interesting topic. Your mind is off there saying, oh my goodness, he just said the word sex. Ooh, that's so silly. And there was probably some chatter right there in your home group after I said the word sex. And see, sex tends to have that kind of an effect on the conversation. It doesn't matter what you're talking about. Once sex comes up, it's a theme that tends to own the entire conversation. And that says something about the way our minds work, and it probably also says something about our culture. And so tonight we're going to read a passage from the Bible that's about holiness. Now, it also talks about sex, but it's really primarily about holiness. When we read it, sometimes it's hard for us to hear anything but the sex part. So my hope tonight is that we can let the passage speak for itself about what it means to live holy lives. And then we can let that shape our perspective about sex, rather than having a cultural understanding of what sex is shape the way we think about other things the other way around. So let's give it a shot. God's will is for you to be holy. So stay away from all sexual immorality. Then each of you will control your own body and live in holiness and honor, not in lustful passion like the pagans who do not know God and his ways. Never harm or take advantage of a Christian brother or sister in this matter, for the Lord avenges all such sins, as we have solemnly warned you before. God has called us to live holy lives, not impure lives. Therefore, anyone who refuses to live by these rules is not disobeying human teaching, but is rejecting God, who gives his Holy Spirit to you. So let's put the whole passage up on the screen together. Sometimes when we hear a passage like this, all we hear is the sex part. The author, Paul, wants to make sure that we don't have sex outside of marriage, and that's the main point. Now, to be fair, it's true that Paul wants us to avoid sexual immorality. The consistent message of the Bible is that sex is a good thing. It's a gift from God, and it's a powerful gift. So since it's powerful, God intends for us to enjoy it in a safe context, which is a lifelong commitment between one man and one woman. But sex is actually secondary in this passage of the Bible. Paul's real focus is on being holy. It's the theme that runs from start to finish in this paragraph, and he brings it up time and again. Now, we would probably all say that holy is a very religious-sounding word, and that can make us feel uncomfortable. So, what does holy mean in everyday terms? Holy means set apart for God. Someone who is holy is different than the people in the world around them. So Paul is saying God's will is for us to live lives that are set apart for Him. And this is true in the area of sex. You know, we do agree with the world around us in some ways, but in other ways, the Bible teaches something very different about sex. You know, we all agree that sex is a good thing. And some non-Christians would even say that sex is a gift from God, even if they don't believe in God. But the big difference comes in the definition of safe sex. The world around us says that safe sex has two conditions. Both people want to do it, and the couple uses protection. That's it. It's a pretty broad definition. The biblical definition of safe sex is holy sex. Sex that's set apart. It's a much more limited context. It's not about giving way to all of your bodily desires. It's about this safe relationship between husband and wife. Safe sex isn't just about being protected from sexually transmitted infections. It's also about being protected emotionally and spiritually. And that's why Paul tells us to control our own body. He's trying to protect us from ourselves so we don't just do whatever we feel like doing. Paul also reminds us not to harm or take advantage of another person in sex. He wants us to think about the other person and protect them too. The other person is not our toy. She or he is a fellow child of God. So, God calls us to live holy lives, lives that are different. We are set apart for Him. And this is particularly true in the area of sex. As a result of being different, it means that Blackhawk Church is a place where we will often have different kinds of questions about sex and dating. So we're going to have a special home group night 2 weeks from tonight. Tonight, you get to help shape what we're going to talk about in 2 nights. We have these little blue sheets, and the whole idea of this is it's a space for you to ask any questions that you have about sex, dating, relationships, marriage, whatever. Next week we have First Wednesday, and 2 weeks from tonight, a few of the leaders in your home group are going to be your relationship panel. They'll answer as many of your questions as they can. So tonight, at the end of your 4 to 1 time, don't leave without picking up one of these sheets, filling it out, and asking whatever questions you've got. And you don't have to ask just one. You can put 2 or 3 on there, or 17 if you have 17 questions that we want to ask. We truly want to answer your questions, not just talk about the things that we think you need to hear. We want to answer what you want to hear. So, my prayer for all of us is that we would all, with God's help, live holy lives, lives that are set apart for Him in all that we do. For now, I'm going to throw it out to your 4 to 1s. I hope you have a great conversation about holiness, and I'm really looking forward to our relationship panels in a couple weeks.